Alright, good afternoon, YouTubers. It's day 18, September 9th. I spent the last couple days not filming, just hung out in the bush, kind of watching the wildlife and doing a little tracking. I made some trails on the neighbor's property for hunting these next couple months, and we haven't really done any work on the platform. I kind of just left the platform where it is. Tomorrow I'll probably get back to leveling those out and finishing the notches so it's all flat. I did figure out how I'm going to do the decking on there, so once we get to that I'll show you what the plan is for that. But in general, I'm just trying not to film all kinds of video of me just talking and hanging out by the fire. I'm trying to just kind of keep the videos more of the off-the-grid project and, you know, more about the building projects and stuff we're doing out here. A lot of wildlife I've been seeing though. It's been pretty fun, and I've been enjoying myself. It was a national holiday, Labor Day weekend, so I just relaxed, spent 4 days in the bush just hanging out. It was a lot of fun, really relaxing. I've been enjoying myself, and a couple of days of just hanging out in the woods and kind of reflecting, hanging out, thinking, and doing my own thing way out here. But like I said, it's day 18. I got water on the fire for a flower shower. It looks like it is boiling now, so I'm going to take that water off, and I got to run to the river to get a couple buckets of water to go with that so I can mix it up and have a shower tonight. So, I don't know. I'll see you guys whenever I flip this thing back on. Alright, morning of day 19. We're trying to feed the spider. We just got to get this fly moving a little. There we go. Breakfast is served. Alright. So he's taking up the whole corner here in the canvas tent. But he's pretty cool. He didn't seem to be bothering me. I feed him a fly every morning. I got flies in the tent at this time of year. So, yeah. Working together. He has like 4 or 5 flies back there. But day 19. I think my buddy's coming up today to hang out, so that's gonna be cool, and I'll see what we can get into. Alright, this little guy obviously changes colors. Look at how metallic looking he is when he's on this. He's a little tree frog, and he's on this piece of metal, and he's turned like a really gray metal color. It's awesome. Look at how well he blends in. That is so cool. Oh, he sticks right to the metal. It's insane. Say hello to YouTube, little guy. Alright, see you guys later. Day 19. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this little guy only has one eye. He only has one eye. He's missing an eye. This guy is so cool. That's so crazy. He only has one eye. See? You can see him on this side. His eye's fine. That is wild. One eye. Jeez, one-eyed frog. What are the chances of that? I find the weirdest stuff out here in the woods. Alright, say goodbye, one eye. Bye! Well, I tell ya, old one eye, he's a weird little bastard. He's pretty cool though. I don't know how he just got one eye. Not sure how that happened. It's a cool pattern. It's a pretty awesome frog. Oh. Gonna look at me with his good eye, give me a good looking up and down. I was staying on his bad side the whole time. Couldn't even see me. Alright, well, I'll let you go on with your weird little life, One Eye. You're a weird bastard, that's for sure. Well, day 19, I just got a call from my buddy, and I don't think he's going to be able to make it up. Planning on working today, but of course the skies are looking pretty gray, and it's probably going to start raining any moment. I also have to try to get up to the market today, because it's been a couple weeks since we've been up there, and I don't have any meat in the freezer or anything. I've just been eating rice for a while, and I'd like to get a little something else. But look at these logs. That one's really black now because that molded up a while ago. But you can see how green this is. This is mold. I don't know why it's doing that. The first one molded up really quick, but then the rest of the logs were fine. And then last night we had some thunderstorms and stuff, and I don't know, I guess the logs are just wet for so long the last couple days that they molded up, which I'm not really sure what kind of mold it is or why they did that. I don't know if it's because of the time of the year I peeled them at or what, but I don't know, hopefully it won't hurt anything. It seems like it should be fine. These are, we're gonna finish leveling these off today, and then I'm gonna start laying the porch boards down. And yeah, it's a bummer that they're molding. I don't know why they're doing that. It's making me upset. But it is officially fall too. The poplar trees and the birch trees are turning yellow and starting to lose their leaves, and the maple trees, I don't know if you can see that right there, but the maple trees have just finally started to change color. So fall is here. September 10th today, and there's leaves falling last night on the canvas tent. Like, it's definitely the beginning of fall. It's officially here, which I'm psyched. It's my favorite time of the year. But has rained a lot already. It seems like it's probably going to be another rainy fall, which, I mean, rain is good sometimes, but we get a little too much of it. It's hard to keep things from molding up out here. Alright, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to try to make it to the market. I have to take that, it's like a 2 mile walk or something like that. So I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Alright, just got back from the Amish market on day 19. Starting the fire, and I'm starting it out really far ahead of where it usually is because I'm trying to get that rock underneath really hot. Because I bought a pizza. And I got a really cheap pizza. I was going to get a nicer pizza, but I realized I didn't know how it was going to come out, so I decided I was going to try it out on this pizza. It cost $1.25 over there. So we're going to heat up this stone and make some coals, and then we're going to put the pizza in some aluminum foil, kind of like I usually do my bannock, and put some coals on top of the aluminum foil, and then hopefully it'll cook the pizza. Worst thing that happens is we're out $1.25. Best thing that could happen is we're eating an awesome pizza out in the woods tonight. I haven't had pizza in a few weeks because I've been out here, and pizza is just one of those things that you always miss. It's probably one of the most missed food items, I'd say, ever in the history of missing food. So I'll see you guys when I've got these coals ready. Alright, so I've got all these little sticks that I put in here. And then we're going to fold this aluminum foil down and crimp it so there's some air space in there. And that way we'll be able to put coals right on top of the aluminum foil without burning the pizza, and hopefully it will cook the pizza evenly all the way around. So when I put it on the coals, I'll show you what that looks like, and then hopefully it'll cook quickly. Alright, there we go. Those are good coals. We're going to push all this back off of this stone now. Alright, so there it is. Pizza's in there. I've got this log here and this log here are burnt out, and they're facing in towards the pizza. So that whole zone in there is pretty hot. I mean, I can't even put my hand in there for a couple minutes. It's hot. I mean, a couple seconds. So, yeah. Wish me luck. We either have a great edible pizza or a burnt mess in there when we're done. Alright, looking good. Put an ear of corn in the coals in the back. And that's my backup plan just in case this doesn't work. But it does smell like pizza, and I took a peek in there and it looks like it's cooking. I don't know how evenly, but I don't know. Give it 2 or 3 more minutes and we'll pull it off there and see what it looks like. Alright, that design there seems to be maintaining a good heat all the way around. Should cook that pizza evenly. Hopefully it's not getting burned on any ends, but this definitely wasn't completely done on the top. So kind of just made like a little cubby hole, and it's really warm in there. It's probably 500 degrees in there. So it should be done soon. Alright, let's fish this out and try not to burn me to death. Oh, smell a little burnt pizza. So yeah, one side looks a little burnt. Yep, cooked all the way in the middle. Just the edge is burnt right here, not the whole thing. And the only cheese that burnt on the top was the stuff that was stuck to the top. But yeah, it looks good. Looks good. So there we go. That's how you cook a pizza over some open coals and an open fire. At least that's how I'm doing it right now. But it'd be nice to have some pizza, and that market always has some strange stuff. Sometimes they'll have frozen pizzas and sausages and stuff like that, so when I go up there, I guess I can grab a pizza every once in a while and cook it out here. I've definitely never cooked a pizza out in the woods. But yeah, into night 19, I gotta make sure that ear of corn doesn't burn up in there. And I'll see you guys all in the morning. Didn't get much done as far as work goes. Sometimes I just don't feel like working and getting this stuff done, but I'm gonna in the next couple days. I'm pretty pumped about it, actually. It's totally worked. This pizza's awesome. Cooked all the way through, and the crust is crispy. I am only burnt right on the very edge of the crust, which is pretty good to me, actually. Yeah, pizza. After rice for 3 days straight, pizza's damn good. Well, evening of night 19, yeah, I heard some people talking down on the railroad tracks, so I went down to investigate. It was 2 older guys, and I thought they were surveyors or something, so I went to introduce myself. And one of them was an old man who owns a camp up the street. And he has an off-the-grid camp up the street that he started 40 years ago. It was awesome. And his buddy was up from Portland. Excuse me. His buddy was up from Portland, wanted to do some fly fishing, so I took him out in the back of my property, out to the river, and put him on some holes. And he caught a couple brook trout. He was super psyched. It was a good conversation with some good people, which doesn't happen very often in the woods. Although when it does happen, that's usually how it goes. I mean, I haven't met anybody who was sketchy out here. I've only met people who have really been good people out here. Brownfield, in this area that I'm in, has really been good for that. But tomorrow will be day 20, and hopefully I can actually do some work. I know this week I've been kind of lazy and not doing anything. I don't know what it's been. This week I haven't really felt like doing anything, but tomorrow we're going to get some of this work done because I'm pretty excited about some of these plans I'm making. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright, it's like noon on day 20. It rained all night and all morning, but the rain has stopped. It's not blue skies yet, but I've had a bunch of you guys ask me about rain collection. And I do some rain collection here. All the water that I use for showering, I usually get from rain collection because it's a lot cleaner. Most of the year it's a lot cleaner than the river, but sometimes during caterpillar season there's a lot of caterpillars turds in it because it comes from above and gets on the tent and then washes down into the container. If I ran it through some sort of filter of some sort, I'm sure it would be even cleaner. But it rained last night, and look at it, it's completely full. So that's like I think 15 to 20 gallons. And I see, yeah, I don't know if you can see in there, those little green specks there and there. Those are some sort of insect turd of some sort. So yeah, if it's sitting here too long, it will end up having junk in it. So I usually have to bucket it up right after it rains. There's a couple little turds in there, it's fine. But I'll bucket that up in the next couple minutes here. And have shower water for later. But that's my rain collection as of right now. I mean, when I get the cabin set up, or when I get this at least set up on the platform, you can make a gutter system pretty easily for this tarp with only one inlet, so it's just filtering into a giant 50-gallon bucket, which I can do that, I guess, when I put it on the platform. Maybe I'll set something like that up. But this actually, it rains enough here that this is enough water for me to do just about everything I need. Maybe some of the really dry months in July and August, it's a little harder. I have to run to the river more. But the river's pretty close too, so hauling 10 gallons from there isn't that hard. And I just don't like to usually drink and shower with the river water, because the river comes from New Hampshire up further. It's pretty mountainous, but I don't know, I think it's kind of polluted here. So I found that 2 layers of heavy-duty aluminum foil, which I can use over and over and over again because I'm just baking potatoes in it. If you put 2 good layers on the potatoes and then just bury them in coals, you might have a burnt spot here and there, but in general, by the time these coals are down to ashes, those potatoes will be done. And the corn get wet with a bottle of water or with the river or whatever. You just get the corn, the whole thing wet, and then put it right in the coals and flip it a couple times, and the corn will be done. But the aluminum foil is the way to go. I mean, having a roll of heavy-duty aluminum foil with you when you're long-term in the woods is going to make your life a lot easier. It's cooking fish and cooking everything. It's just a lot easier, and you can use it over and over again. You can heat it up to burn all the gross stuff out of it. When you want to use it again, you can flip it over and use both sides if you need to. Aluminum foil goes a long way. It's expensive and heavy, and something you wouldn't think of, but that's one item that I definitely try to carry at least a good big heavy square of all the time on me. I put them in all my survival kits too, a heavy square of heavy duty aluminum foil. But I'm going to go work on leveling that out and getting that finished. And it's day 20. So get some work done today, and hopefully by tomorrow we'll be putting on the porch portion of this whole thing, because I figured out how I'm going to do that. So we're going to try to do that tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. I'm never in any hurry, as you guys know. But I'll see you guys. Alright, so this is my expedition backpack. I have both of them out here, but I don't know if you can see that, but that's some mold coming in here and some mold up there. And this bag never even got wet. It's just been laying face down on this cot. So the humidity has gotten to it and things are molding. The strap here got a little bit of mold on it on my Endurance, but I have it hanging up now. If it's hanging up, you usually don't have too many problems. But yes, another day at the survival property. Let's go over and check out those notches, because we're down to the last notch on the base. Alright, so it's day 21, and I've been working on these notches. And I've tried my chisel, but the chisel that I have really wasn't the right chisel. It wasn't really wide enough. It was taking forever. So pretty much this whole notch I ended up doing with the axe, but with the axe you get kind of a V. It's hard to get that curve. If I had an Oz one of those axes they use for hollowing out canoes. That would work pretty good. But the chisel and the jaw knife and all the tools I have, really none of them work better than the axe. The axe has been working the best for me, my Scandinavian forest axe. So I just axe it out till it fits nicely. This one's a little deeper than the other ones just because this side of the log was fatter, so I needed to sit a little lower. But that's the last one. That one's pretty much done. I've got to clean up that notch a little bit, and I got to go back and clean up the notch that that's sitting in. And then the base is done. The whole base of the platform is here. I'm going to start putting the porch together too later today, and I'll bring you guys in when I get ready to do that. But I'm going to finish this notch here and put this last board down, or this last log down. And yeah, like I said, I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so this is basically how I'm doing it. You saw how we made these notches originally with the chainsaw. We cut them, some lines in it, and then chipped it out. But then that was just the rough. That was just the rough cutout. Now I come in here with the axe and see, the bottom of this notch was already too low from the original cut. That's because this log moved a little. So this is pretty much the angle that I want. It would be nice if it was a little rounded, but it's hard to do with an axe. That's why it's better if you have an Oz. If I had a gouge that was like 2 inches wide and use just a wooden mallet, that's how I would usually do notches for like a log cabin to get really tight fit. But since this is just the base, it doesn't have to be that tight a fit, and it was taking way too long doing these all with a chisel. And it's just because I have only a 1-inch chisel, and the kind of chisel I have is kind of wide and thick. Well, it's thick and not wide. So really I need a wide one with a thinner bit on it. But this is how I do them here, and this seems to be going really well actually. They seem to be coming out basically how I needed them to. So there it is. Not the neatest way to do a notch, but it comes out clean enough, and they're definitely fitting tight enough that the logs aren't rolling at all, which is all I'm looking for, because we're going to be putting the decking on here, and then 4 or 5 pieces of plywood, and that's where the canvas tent will sit, right on the plywood. So I'm going to drop this log into its holes, and it should fit pretty tight. Yeah, it looks like that's gonna work. I do have to spin the log because it's supposed to fit a certain way and it didn't twist in quite right, but I have to do that off camera. So yeah, that's the base of the platform done. On to the next step. Alright, so something you folks have to remember is I only have the tools that I have to work with out here. For those of you who've been following the channel, you know that I haven't been working for the last 2 years, that I've been out here doing this project. So I only have the tools that I originally purchased when I came out here. It's pretty much been 10 grand. I bought the property, bought my canvas tent, bought the chainsaw, bought bow saw, axes, draw knives, everything. I had about 10 or 12 grand saved as pretty much my life savings at 28 years old, and it wasn't very much, but that's what I used to come out here. And then when I came out here, I mean, that's part of the experiment. I'm doing the experiment out here. I mean, one main reason is because I wanted to own a property. So I bought the property. And I've been thinking about building a cabin and doing all this stuff, do a huge trip to Alaska. And I always knew I could do this stuff, and I had, you know, the information, but you never really know you can do stuff until you really do it and prove it to yourself. So that's what the Off the Grid experiment is. It's an experiment proving to myself that I can make this stuff happen, because eventually I'm going to be going to Alaska here. I mean, that's one of my big last adventures that I have planned, is to go out to Alaska and spend a year out there, or at least 6 months out there in the bush. And when I do that, I'm going to be building a cabin and everything. So I don't want to go out to Alaska thinking I know how to do all this stuff and get out there and realize I can't do all this stuff. I want all my learning curve to happen when I'm not too far away from population. The property here I just love, and I bought it originally as an investment and didn't even think I was going to be spending so much time out here, but the neighbors have been great and the property's been great. So, you know, I'm just doing what I can, but I have run out of funds. I mean, I've run out of all my savings pretty much. Even all my gold and silver I've turned in. So everything I do out here, at least at this point, I've got to use what I have out here. I have to use the trees and the material that I have out here, and I have to use the tools that I purchased a year and a half ago, because I just don't have really the funds to do more purchasing and whatnot. I also want to apologize to everybody for all the heavy breathing. When I'm working out here, I am a heavy asthmatic, I've mentioned before. And when I'm doing POV videos, I've noticed that a couple of these videos you can hear me breathing pretty heavily over the video, and I'm sorry for that. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm trying to keep the microphone in a place where you can hear me, but you're not hearing me breathe so deeply. But you know, you guys know how it is. People who have been following the channel know, you know, I'm out here doing what I can for my YouTube channel with what I've got. So, you know, sometimes that means crappy equipment and, you know, a lot of hard work, but I'm doing what I can, and I hope you guys are all enjoying what I'm putting out there. So there's the platform. Basically the base is done, and tomorrow morning we're gonna get making some planks. Oh, I wanted to also mention there's all this mold. I think I've talked about it briefly already, but it's not getting any better. But something that's really strange is the outside of these logs have molded, but this log right here, and you can see how the outside of that one has mold on it, and so does the other side of this. That's all green mold. But this has no mold on it, the inside, and this log has been split for almost as long as all these have been out here. So the wood on the inside is not getting any mold on it. It's just the outside of the log that's getting mold, and I don't know why that is. I'm sure there's going to be a guy out there who knows everything about log cabins. He's going to tell me exactly what this is I'm dealing with. But it's strange because all the pieces that I'm cutting for the decking don't have any mold in it. So that's obviously got antifungal properties going on, but I don't know why the outside of the logs don't. Alright, still day 21. This is going to be the first plank for the decking, which I'm going to cut it right here. Which is at 2 feet, because each of these are going to be 2 feet long, which will come to the exact center of each log. So each of these boards will be centered on the logs. And I'm going to make this cut here, but then I'm going to make a couple cuts coming in, because we're going to carve another kind of notch there so it sits on the log, and we'll put a couple, I haven't decided, I think we're going to just put regular nails in there, but we might drill holes with an auger and put wooden pegs in, depending on what that's going to look like. So let me make these cuts and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so I have these cut marks in them here, and I probably should have done a couple more, but I think this will be fine for now. And I'm going to just knock them out like this. Don't want it too thin. This is going to be the lip that holds the board up. So that's basically it. I'm going to take my jaw knife and even this side out so it's kind of flatter. And I'm going to take this and flip it over, and we're going to flatten this whole side out with a jaw knife and see how it comes out. Clean it up with the axe first. But we want this side to be pretty flat too. Wish I had a carpenter's axe. Carpenter's axe would be good for this right now, or even a hewing axe of some sort would be good. But this is, I mean, I've done everything with the Scandinavian forest axe, and some of the stuff I've done you wouldn't have been able to do with really any other axe. So I'm pretty happy with this axe, but I'm going to finish doing this off camera and I'll bring you back when I have this plank where I want it. Alright, so this is where we're at here. I've been using the draw knife. See, and I'm just taking it down with the draw knife far enough that there's like a 3-inch platform here that I can split between the decking plates. And here's one of the decking plates. Kind of rough, but I think it'll look good and pretty rustic. And as I carve them, I'm just hoping that I can carve them in a way where they fit with each other nicely. As long as I keep them the same thickness, then the platform will all be even at least. And flatten it out. I mean, that's pretty flat. Looks pretty good, I think. So we split the difference like that. suppose we'll just use some galvanized steel nails. Final test. Yeah, well, those should be thick enough to hold people on the deck, and the next couple days maybe we'll go out and take a fishing trip or something, because the next couple days I'm going to be working on just carving up these plates here, and that's going to take a lot of time of doing exactly what I just showed you, so I'm not going to be filming much of that. But like I said, maybe we'll go down to the river and go fishing or something in the next couple days in between this project. So that's how I'm going to make the decking, and yeah, we'll see how it comes out. Oh, look at who I just found. It's the Newt from season 2. He said he wanted to come by and say hey. No! Uh-oh. That's kind of a long fall, not that bad. He looks like he's okay. He was under a log I went to collect for firewood. He looked like he wasn't moving and stuff. He kind of froze up. Like, I thought maybe he had already gone into hibernation mode, because these things slow way down when they get really cold. But it hasn't been that cold. So, I don't know. I don't know what his plan is, but I gotta put him somewhere where I'm not gonna step on him. And finally, back